Rule number 1. In the picturesque town of Lucerne, Switzerland, residents are legally prohibited from flushing their toilets after 10 p.m. in apartment buildings. Yes, you read that correctly. The Swiss government has essentially declared war on your bladder. This means that if nature calls at midnight, you have two choices. Either hold it until morning like a human pressure cooker, or become a criminal in the eyes of the law. Imagine explaining to your boss why you're exhausted. Sorry, I couldn't sleep because I was too scared to use my own bathroom. Is a quiet neighbor really worth the internal damage of holding in your biological needs? For 8 straight hours? Rule number 2. The beautiful coastal city of Dubrovnik in Croatia has banned wheeled suitcases in its historic Old Town. The clicking and clacking of those tiny wheels on ancient cobblestones was apparently so offensive to local ears that authorities decided tourists must carry their 50-pound bags by hand. This turns every vacation into an unexpected arm workout and every rival into a sweaty, humiliating spectacle. Hotels now offer porter services at premium prices, essentially creating a tax on people who don't want to destroy their spines. Would you pay an extra $100 just to avoid becoming a human pack mule on your dream vacation? Rule number 3. In Victoria, Australia, operating a vacuum cleaner before 7 a.m. on weekdays or 9 a.m. on weekends is a punishable offense that can result in fines up to $19,000. The government has essentially transformed your innocent cleaning appliance into a weapon of mass disturbance. Early birds who want to start their housework with the sunrise are legally required to sit in their dirty homes and wait for the government-approved cleaning hour. If you're the type of person who likes to vacuum at 6 a.m. before work, Australia wants you to know that you're not just weird. You're a potential criminal. Rule number 4. The Hawaiian island of Oahu has strict laws against owning roosters that crow excessively in residential areas, since roosters don't exactly come with volume controls or snooze buttons. This essentially requires owners to either soundproof their birds or teach them meditation techniques. Imagine sitting down with your rooster for a serious conversation about keeping his voice down. The fine for a noisy rooster can reach several $100s per incident. At what point does the cost of owning a loud chicken exceed the value of the eggs it produces? Rule number 5. On the glamorous Italian island of Capri, wearing noisy footwear including wooden clogs, loud flip-flops, and clicking heels is strictly forbidden by local ordinance. In 2010, a couple was actually fined for wearing excessively loud sandals while strolling through the town. The island has essentially created a fashion police force dedicated to the sound of your shoes. This means your carefully curated vacation outfit must now pass both a style test and an acoustic evaluation. If you can't make a dramatic entrance with your designer heels, is Capri even worth the Instagram post? Rule number 6. Germany takes its Sunday silence, known as Ruhezeit, extremely seriously. On Sundays and public holidays, it is illegal to mow your lawn, drill holes in your wall, or even recycle glass bottles. The entire country enters a state of mandatory meditation, where any productive activity is legally classified as antisocial behavior. If your sink starts leaking on a Sunday, you're legally required to watch your kitchen flood rather than use a power drill. Do you think a government-mandated day of silence would improve your mental health, or would watching your garden turn into a jungle drive you insane? Rule number 7. In certain municipalities of North Carolina, snoring loudly enough to disturb neighbors is technically illegal. While enforcement is practically non-existent, the law remains on the books as a bizarre attempt to regulate human biology through legislation. This means your spouse could theoretically call the police on you instead of just elbowing you in the ribs. Imagine being arrested because your nasal passages were to relax during sleep. If your partner's snoring sounds like a chainsaw fighting a motorcycle, would you actually involve law enforcement, or would you just invest in better earplugs? Rule number 8. Vancouver, Canada has created a detailed list of banned instruments for street performers, including bagpipes, drum kits, and amplified guitars. The city has essentially appointed itself as the curator of the urban soundtrack, deciding that only gentle acoustic melodies are appropriate for public ears. This means if you've spent years mastering the bagpipes, your skills are legally worthless on the streets of Vancouver. The city wants the sound of soft flutes and whispered harmonies, not the glorious chaos of a well-played drum solo. Is a perfectly curated soundscape worth crushing the dreams of musicians who happen to play loud instruments? Rule number 9. In the cemetery town of Dunn, North Carolina, using profane language within Crossing graveyard boundaries is a finable offense. This law essentially requires you to maintain a G-rated vocabulary, even when you stub your toe on a tombstone. The dead apparently deserve protection not just from grave robbers, but from anyone who might accidentally let slip a curse word. If you trip over a headstone and automatically say something inappropriate, you've just disrespected the deceased and broken the law simultaneously. Is it really possible to control your vocabulary in a moment of genuine pain? Rule number 10. Several municipalities in New Jersey have banned ice cream trucks from playing their jingles. While stationary, these trucks must keep moving while the music plays, creating a bizarre mobile hunt where children must literally chase their frozen treats. This turns a simple popsicle purchase into an athletic event requiring speed, strategy, and cardio conditioning. Kids must now sprint after a moving vehicle while their parents watch in horror. Is a 3-minute nursery rhyme really such a threat to public peace that we need to make children exercise for their ice cream? Rule number 11. An ancient law in Derbyshire, England made it illegal to keep a noisy dog, but the definition of noisy was so incredibly vague that it sparked decades of neighborhood feuds and legal battles. Every bark became a potential lawsuit, and every dog owner lived in fear of their pet's vocal expressions. This turned the entire region into a surveillance state, where neighbors monitored each other's animals like secret agents. If your dog barks once at 3 a.m., are you responsible for the noise, or is the mailman who scared it the real criminal? Rule number 12. In Switzerland, slamming your car door too loudly after 10 p.m. is classified as a noise violation that can result in substantial fines. Swiss citizens are expected to exit their vehicles with the delicate precision of a brain surgeon, gently clicking doors shut as if they were handling explosives. This essentially requires you to give your passengers a detailed briefing before any nighttime arrival. Imagine teaching your friends and family the art of the silent car door just to avoid a police conversation. Has any country ever taken automotive etiquette this seriously? Rule number 13. The town of Petrolia in Ontario, Canada has a law prohibiting whistling, singing, or shouting at any time of day. This isn't just a nighttime restriction. It's a 24-hour mandate for complete vocal restraint. If you're walking your dog and feel like humming a tune, you're breaking the law. If you see your friend across the street and want to call out their name, you're a criminal. The town has essentially outlawed spontaneous human happiness. Is your favorite song really worth a court appearance and a mark on your permanent record? Rule number 14. Melbourne, Florida has created a bizarre intersection of noise and fashion law by making it illegal to sing on public streets while wearing a swimsuit. The city council apparently decided that the combination of beachwear and vocal performance was simply too much for the public to handle. You can sing in regular clothes. You can wear a swimsuit in silence, but combining the two is a step too far. This forces every beach visitor to make a difficult choice between expressing themselves musically and dressing appropriately for the weather. Rule number 15. New York City has transformed noise control into a profitable side hustle by rewarding citizens who film idling trucks. If you catch a delivery vehicle running its engine for more than 3 minutes, you can submit the footage and receive 25% of the resulting fine. Some dedicated noise bounty hunters have made tens of thousands of dollars stalking commercial vehicles. This has created a small army of citizens wandering the streets with phones ready, hoping to catch a UPS driver taking a bathroom break. Would you spend your weekends hunting trucks for government kickbacks, or is your dignity worth more than a cut of a traffic fine? Rule number 16. Since 2009, it has been illegal to wear high heels at many ancient Greek historical sites, including the Parthenon. The concentrated pressure of stiletto heels was determined to be a direct threat to priceless marble that has survived for thousands of years. This isn't just a safety rule, it's an acoustic regulation because the sharp clack of heels on ancient stone was also considered disruptive. If your fashion choice is legally classified as a threat to Western civilization, maybe it's time to reconsider your footwear priorities. Are ancient monuments really worth wearing flats? Rule number 17. Street vendors in Washington, D.C. are strictly prohibited from shouting to attract customers. They cannot use their voices to hawk their wares, call out prices, or even enthusiastically recommend their hot dogs. This has transformed the capital's streets into eerily quiet commercial zones, where vendors must rely solely on intense eye contact and hopeful gestures. The traditional image of the boisterous street seller has been legislated into extinction. If you couldn't make a sound to sell your products, would you master the art of the meaningful stare? Rule number 18. The United Kingdom still enforces an 1839 law that makes it illegal to ring doorbells or use door knockers without a valid reason. Originally designed to stop Victorian pranksters from playing knock-and-run, this law remains enforceable today. If you're a teenager in London playing doorbell pranks, you're not just being annoying. You're a literal criminal under centuries-old legislation. The British legal system apparently never forgives a grudge, even one involving a brass door knocker and juvenile humor. Rule number 19. Little Rock, Arkansas has mandated that dogs cannot bark audibly across property lines after 6 p.m. This puts enormous pressure on pet owners to somehow convince their animals to respect human concepts of time and legal boundaries. The law essentially asks you to perform nightly negotiations with a creature that has no understanding of municipal ordinances. If your neighbor's dog barks at 6:01 p.m., do you call the authorities or accept that dogs will be dogs? Rule number 20. France takes its quiet Sundays so seriously that in many towns, any noisy DIY projects or garden work on holidays is strictly forbidden. If you have a sudden urge to build a bookshelf on Bastille Day, you're legally out of luck. The French government has prioritized the collective afternoon nap over individual productivity. Your power drill is essentially classified as an act of social treason against the national right to peaceful wine consumption. Is forced relaxation still relaxation if it comes with the threat of a fine? Rule number 21. The mosquito device, used in several countries, emits a high-frequency sound that only people under 25 can typically hear. It's specifically designed to prevent teenagers from loitering near shops by making certain areas physically uncomfortable for young people. This creates an invisible sonic wall that targets citizens based purely on their age. It's a fascinating and somewhat dystopian use of sound science. Is this a clever solution to youth loitering, or is it straight-up age-based auditory discrimination? Rule number 22. In Bermuda, playing music in your car that can be heard by anyone outside the vehicle is completely illegal. The island authorities have decided that the sound of ocean waves should dominate over your carefully curated driving playlist. This transforms every driver into a silent prisoner within their own vehicle. If you couldn't blast your favorite anthem while cruising, would a premium sound system even be worth the investment? Rule number 23. Italian courts have actually fined couples and even handed out jail sentences for excessively loud, romantic activities that disturb neighbors. In some towns, if your late-night passion can be heard through the walls, it's classified as a violation of public peace. One couple received a 6-month sentence for their enthusiasm. It's the ultimate mood killer, proving that in Italy, love must be expressed at a conversational decibel level. Rule number 24. Massachusetts has an old law making it illegal to play the Star-Spangled Banner as dance music or as part of a medley in public places. This creates a legal minefield for DJs who might want to get patriotic during a set. The law doesn't just regulate volume, it dictates the context and presentation of the melody itself. The national anthem is apparently so sacred that remixing it is essentially a crime against the country. Rule number 25. In Victoria, British Columbia, it is technically illegal to ring a bell in the street, a law that historically targeted everyone from town criers to overly enthusiastic handbill collectors. While rarely enforced today, it was designed to prevent the city from sounding like a chaotic marketplace. Even a simple ding-dong can be classified as a disturbance, proving that one person's charming tradition is another person's legal nuisance. Rule number 26. South Carolina banned pinball machines for decades, partly because the noisy clanking and dinging was considered a disturbance, and partly because the games were associated with gambling. The mechanical thump of a flipper could actually result in a police raid on the local arcade. While the ban has been lifted, the history remains a classic example of moral panic colliding with noise ordinances. Rule number 27. In Fort Collins. Colorado, a loud party can result in every single person present receiving a ticket, not just the host. If police can hear the gathering from the property line, they can issue citations to every guest in attendance. This law is designed to kill the house party vibe before it even starts. Does collective punishment for noise violations sound fair? Or does it feel like a draconian policy that turns social gatherings into potential mass arrest? Scenarios. Rule number 28. Portland has entered the noise war by banning gas-powered leaf blowers during specific months and in certain zones. The city is pushing for quieter electric alternatives to protect the sanity of work-from-home employees. It's a battle between the right to a clean yard and the right to not hear a jet engine outside your window at 8 a.m. This auditory revolution is slowly turning suburban landscapes into quieter, though potentially messier, places. Rule number 29. The United Kingdom has surgical precision when it comes to ice cream truck music. Drivers cannot sound their chimes before noon or after 7 p.m., and each tune can only play for 12 seconds at a time. These rules transform the beloved ice cream man from a neighborhood fixture into a highly regulated, time-conscious distributor who must watch the clock as carefully as the road. Rule number 30. Singapore makes it illegal to play any musical instrument in a public place in a way that causes annoyance to any person. Since annoyance is entirely subjective, this law essentially gives random passers-by legal veto power over your street performance. One person's slightly off-key violin practice can become a formal legal matter. It's a high-pressure environment for aspiring musicians. Rule number 31. In Augusta, Maine, it is technically illegal to shout or speak loudly while walking down the street if your intention is to disturb someone. This is essentially the ultimate don't be annoying law, giving police power to fine you for simply being an obnoxious human being. How many residents are currently holding in passionate arguments just to avoid a court date? Rule number 32. Many Swiss apartment buildings prohibit full-blast showers after 10 p.m. because the sound of water rushing through pipes is considered a major noise violation. A basic hygiene necessity becomes a clandestine operation where you must either shower before the deadline or go to bed dirty. Imagine your own plumbing being your greatest legal liability. Rule number 33. South Australia's Police Offences Act prohibits shaking or beating carpets, rugs, or mats on any public street. The rhythmic thwack of cleaning was deemed too disturbing for urban peace. This effectively turns a Sunday deep clean into a potential misdemeanor. Even your dust bunnies are subject to the long arm of the law in Australia. Rule number 34. Los Angeles bans gas-powered leaf blowers within 500 feet of any residence. While anyone who's been woken by the soul-crushing drone of yard work might support this, it has turned many gardeners into accidental criminals. Should the government really regulate your choice of yard work tools, or is this extreme California overreach? Rule number 35. In Alicante, Spain, dragging furniture across floors during late hours can result in hefty fines. This law specifically targets those midnight interior decorators who decide 2 a.m. is perfect for rearranging the living room. It's a victory for anyone who has lived below restless neighbors. But how exactly do police prove you moved the couch without a search warrant? Rule number 36. In many Japanese urban neighborhoods, signs prohibit children from playing loudly in parks. The sound of kids shouting or balls bouncing is classified by some local associations as noise pollution. This creates surreal silent playgrounds that feel more like libraries than recreational areas. Does the right to a quiet afternoon outweigh a child's right to actually be a child? Rule number 37. Burbank, California has deployed noise cameras that photograph license plates when vehicles exceed certain decibel levels. These high-tech devices specifically target loud car exhausts, turning streets into automated sound monitoring stations. Car enthusiasts must now wonder if their expensive custom mufflers are actually just expensive tickets in disguise. Rule number 38. Switzerland prohibits lawn mowing during the traditional lunchtime hour between noon and 1 p.m. This sacred time for digestion and silence is legally protected. If you trim your grass while neighbors enjoy their fondue, You're breaking a social and legal contract. Government-mandated nap time is both incredibly civilized and mildly infuriating. Rule number 39, Rockville, Maryland makes it illegal to use profane language on or near any public street or highway. While the First Amendment usually protects free speech, this local ordinance warns those with colorful vocabularies. A stub toe or traffic-induced outburst becomes a potential legal liability. It's essentially a wash your mouth out policy enforced by city council instead of your grandmother. Rule number 40. Several Italian coastal towns have banned portable speakers and radios on public beaches to preserve the natural sound of waves. Authorities want to ensure your summer playlist doesn't ruin someone else's meditation. Violating this can result in speaker confiscation and a fine costing more than your entire beach outfit. Your taste in music is officially not a universal human right. Rule number 41. Hundreds of cafes and restaurants in South Korea have created no-kids zones, largely driven by the desire for quiet environments. While it's perfect for peaceful dates, it has sparked massive national debate about tolerance versus the right to a peaceful latte. Should public spaces be allowed to curate their acoustic experience by excluding entire demographics? Rule number 42. Seville, Spain has banned the clatter of dominoes and dice games on outdoor terraces, officially classifying the thumping of tiles on tables as a noise nuisance. This effectively mutes the social soul of the city's plazas. If you want to play, use felt-lined tables or master the art of the silent, slow-motion move. Rule number 43. Haddon Township, New Jersey bans any noise that can be heard through a wall and is plainly audible to a neighbor, including normal television volume and regular conversations. This essentially turns apartment dwellers into potential noise criminals for simply existing. Does this sound like paradise or like living in a library where the librarian carries a badge? Rule number 44. Derby, Kansas has a specific noise ordinance against tires producing screeching sounds, whether accelerating too fast or taking corners enthusiastically. That squealing can result in legal citations. It targets wannabe street racers, but can also catch regular drivers on slippery roads. Even your rubber's friction is under government surveillance. Rule number 45. The wealthy Knightsbridge neighborhood in London has installed acoustic cameras that trigger when vehicles exceed certain decibel limits. If your Ferrari's idle sounds like thunder, the camera photographs it and sends a fine directly to your mansion. It reminds the rich that silence is a luxury they haven't quite paid for yet. Rule number 46. North Carolina makes it illegal to use noisy vehicles to distribute advertisements. No megaphones, no blasting speakers, no loud trucks announcing local mattress sales. It forces advertisers to be subtle, which is rare and beautiful. The only thing trying to grab your attention in North Carolina is a quiet, polite billboard. Rule number 47. Florida made playing car music audible from 25 feet away a finable offense. That's roughly to car lengths. It's a nightmare for anyone who treats their vehicle as a mobile concert hall. The law specifically targets bone-rattling subwoofers that shake mirrors. Your taste in music is now officially a budgetary concern. Rule number 48. In Victoria, Australia, using power tools or lawn mowers on Christmas Day is strictly illegal. The government has mandated absolute mechanical silence during the holiday. Those who find relaxation in DIY projects are legally barred from their hobbies. If you had a plumbing emergency requiring a power drill on December 25th, would you risk the fine or let the house flood? Rule number 49. Germany's Ruhezeit extends even to recycling. In many cities, dropping glass bottles into bins between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m. or at all on Sundays is illegal. The clink of a beer bottle hitting glass is a violation of neighborhood peace. Citizens must hoard their recycling like shameful secrets until government-approved disposal hours. Rule number 50. In certain parts of Florida, using a megaphone or any sound amplifying device on a boat is illegal if the sound can be heard from the shore. This effectively murders the party boat culture that has defined Florida's waterways for decades. While it might seem like a win for beachgoers seeking peace, it means even a simple announcement or a slightly loud song can result in a maritime citation. The law draws a literal line in the water regarding volume. If the sound carries across the waves, you're not just a boat captain anymore. You're officially a noise-polluting fugitive in the eyes of the law. The Coast Guard isn't just looking for smugglers. They're hunting DJ Speedboat and his illegal playlist. From the shoes on your feet to the toilet in your bathroom, from the music in your car to the games on your table, the world is absolutely obsessed with maintaining silence at any cost. These 50 laws prove that the line between a peaceful neighborhood and a complete legal nightmare is much thinner than any of us ever imagined. Somewhere right now, someone is being fined for flushing their toilet, arrested for wearing flip-flops, or hunted by acoustic cameras for revving their engine. Which of these ridiculous rules would you be most likely to break by accident? Are you a midnight flusher, a loud singer, or a car stereo blaster? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because we genuinely want to know which laws our audience would accidentally violate. If you enjoyed this journey through auditory absurdity, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you question the sanity of lawmakers around the world. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the bizarre corners of human legislation.